Amy's Magical Adventure, Saving the Animals and Making New Friends. Once upon a time, in a land far, far away, there was a magical kingdom called Happyland. In Happyland, everything was bright and colorful, and everyone was always happy. There were talking animals, fairies, and even a friendly dragon named Sparky who flew around the kingdom. In Happyland, there was a young girl named Amy who loved to play and explore. Amy had long, curly hair and big, bright eyes that shone with curiosity. She lived in a small cottage with her parents and her dog, Max. One day, as Amy was playing in the meadow, she heard a loud noise coming from the forest. It sounded like someone was in trouble. Amy, being the brave girl that she was, ran towards the noise. As she entered the forest, she saw a group of animals huddled together. They were scared and trembling. Amy asked them what was wrong, and they told her that an evil witch had cast a spell over their homes, and they couldn't go back. They were homeless and had nowhere to go. Amy knew she had to help the animals. She thought of a plan and decided to go to the witch's castle and ask her to break the spell. But she knew it wouldn't be easy. The witch was known to be very mean and selfish, and she didn't like children. Undeterred, Amy set out on her adventure. She packed a bag with food, water, and a flashlight, and she set off towards the witch's castle. As she walked, Amy encountered all sorts of magical creatures. She saw fairies fluttering around, unicorns grazing in the fields, and even a friendly troll who showed her the way to the castle. When Amy finally arrived at the castle, she was met by the witch's guards. They were big and scary and looked like they meant business. But Amy didn't let that scare her. She walked up to them and said, "I need to see the witch. It's important." The guards laughed and said, "The witch doesn't see children. Go back to where you came from." But Amy didn't give up. She thought of a plan and decided to use her charm to get past the guards. She smiled and said, "Please let me see the witch. I promise I won't take up too much of her time." The guards were taken aback by Amy's politeness, and they decided to let her in. As Amy entered the castle, she saw all sorts of creepy things. There were spider webs everywhere, and the furniture was old and dusty. She walked up to the witch's chamber and knocked on the door. "Who is it?" the witch snarled. "It's me, Amy," she said. "I've come to ask you to break the spell over the animals' homes." The witch was surprised to see a young girl standing in front of her. She was used to dealing with brave knights and powerful wizards, but she didn't let that faze her. She laughed and said, "Why should I help you? What's in it for me?" Amy thought of a plan and said, "If you break the spell, I'll bring you a special potion that will make you younger and more beautiful than ever before." The witch was intrigued. She had always wanted to be young and beautiful again. She said, "Okay, you've got a deal. Bring me the potion and I'll break the spell." Amy left the castle and set out on a new adventure. She asked the friendly troll for help, and he told her that the potion could be found in the Cave of Wonders. The Cave of Wonders was a scary place. It was filled with traps and puzzles that only the bravest could solve. But Amy was determined to get the potion and bring it back to the witch. As she entered the cave, she saw a sign that said, "Beware of the traps." Amy was careful as she walked, watching out for anything that looked dangerous. She saw a pitfall trap and jumped over it. She saw a spike trap and dodged it. She even saw a fire trap and used her water bottle to put it out. Finally, she reached the end of the cave, where she saw a glowing potion bottle. She picked it up and examined it carefully. It looked like the real thing. She put it in her bag and left the cave. On her way back to the witch's castle, Amy encountered a group of mischievous fairies. They were playing a game of tag and didn't notice Amy walking by. Amy joined in the game and had a lot of fun with the fairies. They laughed and giggled, flying around and playing tricks on each other. As the sun began to set, Amy realized that she had to hurry. She said goodbye to the fairies and ran towards the castle. When she arrived, the witch was waiting for her. She looked excited and eager to get her hands on the potion. Amy gave it to her, and the witch drank it eagerly. Suddenly, there was a bright flash of light, and the witch transformed into a beautiful young woman. She looked like she was in her 20s, with long, flowing hair and bright green eyes. The witch was delighted. She said, "Thank you, Amy. You have given me a new lease on life. I will break the spell and restore the animals' homes." True to her word, the witch broke the spell, and the animals were able to return to their homes. They were grateful to Amy and threw a big party in her honor. As the party was winding down, Amy realized that she had to go home. She said goodbye to the animals and the witch and set off towards her cottage. As she walked, she realized that she had made a lot of friends on her adventure. She had met all sorts of magical creatures and had seen things that she had never seen before. She arrived at her cottage, tired but happy. Her parents were waiting for her, and they hugged her tightly. "How was your adventure?" her father asked. "It was amazing," Amy said. "I met all sorts of magical creatures and helped the animals, and I even made a new friend." "Who's your new friend?" her mother asked. "The witch," Amy said with a smile. "She's not so bad after all." And so, Amy's adventure became a favorite bedtime story for children all over Happyland. Every night, children would dream of joining Amy on her magical quest and meeting all the fantastic creatures she encountered on her journey. And they knew that with bravery and kindness, they could overcome any obstacle and make new friends along the way. The end. Thank you for listening to tonight's bedtime story. If you enjoyed it, please consider subscribing to our channel for more daily stories. We have new adventures and life lessons to share with you every night, so don't miss out.